Hello. So I'm going to make this video as a practice. I was like making a reading with both. Wait a minute. These are the oracle cards I'm using. I felt guided to make a reading using these two, which is the Romance Angels oracle card and the Life Purpose oracle card, both by Doreen Virtue. And I don't know if this will resonate with you guys, but this is pretty much what I got from the cards that I was feeling drawn to pull. The first one is heart-to-heart conversations. And it says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Now, the first vibe that I got from this card that I pulled like a couple of hours ago, but was kind of hanging up in the air, was being able to actually be open and honestly communicate how you feel with everyone. In my case was dealing with some issues and blocks that were coming up in the family, but after I sat down with us, both these oracle cards, and started pulling cards, I realized that this speaks also in our connection to God, to the divine, being able to actually express him or her, like whoever, like in whichever way you identify God or this energy that is behind everything that's created. And it speaks to this, right? Being able to actually being honest with God as to where are your fears and upsets, and inviting him into this space where he can guide you to where you are in need of healing. And then the next card was separation. It says time apart from your partner is in the horizon, and I feel this speaks to especially us who are in the twin flame journey in a very conscious way, knowing that this time up, what it seems to be time apart from our ultimate lover, our twin flame, is because for us in this journey it's required that we bring back the focus to us, to ourselves and God. Again, speaking on the previous card, that is the conversation with the divine, without reaching outside and believing that this is the source of your happiness, that your twin flame is the source of your happiness, and everything that you're desiring in your heart and everything that you're feeling like you need. So the separation, even though we know it's an illusion, it's giving us the appropriate space for us to go back to the most important communication we can have, which is the communication with God. And the next card that I pulled was freedom. This is from the Life Purpose Oracle card. And it says, you're free to do what you choose. Which means that in this communication that you establish with the divine, as you are perfectly guided, you can be given the ultimate freedom of actually aligning to your core's desire, your heart's desire, and doing what you really want to be doing, and really trusting the process, which is something that I guess many of us are working through, is this feeling of safety and trust that the process that it's taking place appropriately and it's perfect at each step. And then I got the speaker card, again from the Life Purpose Oracle card. Let's see. And it says your life purpose involves your skills of oration, which is pretty much what I'm doing now. Now, like joking aside, this first row is pretty much the current energy, and it's always speaking in communion with this ability to have a conversation. When you channel the divine very easily and you master this, then you have ability to do this with someone else. Like you can take the information from here, from the divine, and then share it with someone else, whether it's a group of people, your family members, or whoever comes in your way. coming back to the reading, in the second row I had 3 cards, and they speak a little bit of our block that we are currently moving through. And the first one is school. See this? And it's the answer that you're seeking involves going to school, which, I mean, being this kind of a block energy, it might mean that we are having trouble understanding that it is okay to kind of retrieve a little bit, like have a step back, sort of speaking, and realizing that there is more learning to be done. That like this is a constant process of learning. But it's also accompanied by the card from Romance Angels, this retreat. And so you see, there's always someone that these people aren't alone, they are both together. We have like someone more mastered, the teacher and the student, but in retreat we also have a couple. So this means perhaps it is time to disconnect from the world, and this means going back to the again, this connection to God. It's no wonder that we have also in the second row, like in the first row and the second row, the second card of each, they are separation and retreat, which is again allowing this space for us to reconnect to our true source, which is God. So we may be experiencing some blocks there in allowing ourselves to come into that space that allows us to relax and learn and tap into our own feelings, and discovering that there are deeper depths of like deeper understanding of how our relationship to God works and how we can teach this to others. And the third card of this second row, the row about kind of our blocks, is energy healing. And even though it says your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose, I take that it is speaking about this healing that is taking place in this space that God is creating for each of us to actually kind of bring the focus back to where it belongs, instead of like going outside of ourselves into our external reality and do. It is more of a time where we kind of have to go inwards and check how we are doing, check how we feel about our progress, check how our relationship to God is doing, check if we have to learn something new that we can add to whatever it is that we want to express freely in our alignment with God's purpose for us. And a little bit of the outcome that we can expect once we move through this period would be sensitivity, which speaks you are becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. So being able to reconnect to this again, like a little bit redundant, but like reconnecting to this connection that we have with the divine, with the universe itself, grants us like a deeper knowing, like a deeper ability to see through everybody else's processes. You know, we are able, as we move deeper into love and we heal our upsets and blocks to love, again, like hint, by using the mirror exercise. If you haven't tapped into that, you can always find the links in the description of the video. I highly recommend learning that tool. It has, it's really easy. It doesn't really take that long. Anyone can learn it, and it's super effective in clearing whatever it is that prevents us from channeling the divine. But by knowing, like by going inwards and learning more about ourselves and more about God and our connection to God, we can also, again, we can develop this sensitivity. So we may approach to other people who are in need of help in a better way, in a more grounded way, in a way that can actually help them instead of engaging in their own, in the upsets that they may present. Like it's normal for us to be triggered by each other because we mirror each other, and sometimes we tend to forget that all of this is happening from a place of fear and hurt, and so developing this sensitivity grants us even more power and grounds us even more in our work, in our shared life purpose, which is share God's love in whichever way we feel called to do it. And this is kind of like what comes up in the next card, which is artist. Artists, as we know, are very creative people. They are always in touch with the creative energies. And it says, engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. So, yeah, it's kind of fine-tuning our ability to share the information that we learn by discovering and tapping into our own relationship to the divine. And the last card, it says, keep an open mind. I don't know. There we go. This is the first time that I am actually doing a reading like this, so let's see how it goes. And it says, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Now, in regards to this reading and what I was picking up on the energy, this isn't really speaking about a particular person, but I think it asks us to keep an open mind with our journeys and how they are unfolding. It's really very important that we learn how to detach ourselves from our own expectations of how things should be, and I can really speak of this because I have been being disciplined in this quite often, actually. So it's really about kind of like letting go of our attachments and allow the divine to guide us through this whole journey by the hand, because that's actually what God or the universal source is always doing. He's holding us by the hand, and he's kind of like guiding us very gently and holding space for us to be ready to make that step, regardless of how many attempts it might take or how much time it may take for us to take that step in faith. So I hope this reading could have bring some light into what is going on. We are moving into a deeper level of feeling safe and trusting the whole process. So keep it up. You're doing great. Don't worry about the outcome. You are always and perfectly guided by God, and you're always perfectly held in love. So you can, again, let go of any worries, and if you haven't learned the mirror exercise, I highly suggest doing so. I will leave the link in the description of this video, and I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I will see you in the next video I made for you guys. Take care.